any sort of spiel that you want to reel off telling us about what Charity Water does? Because I'm sure it sounds a hell of a lot better coming from you than it does from us.
So I've been at Charity Water for 3.5 years now, and when I came to Charity Water, actually, I didn't come here because I necessarily wanted to solve the water crisis. I came to Charity Water because my parents actually are the biggest charity skeptics I've ever met in my life. My dad has been a mechanic his whole life, and he never gave to charity because he thought the sector was corrupt and CEOs were making millions of dollars and driving BMWs. And because Charity Water has a 100% model and we prove every dollar, I said, hey, I'm going to go work for a nonprofit, and I'm gonna make you believe in the good that thousands of organizations are doing around the world all year long. And so that's the piece that brought me to Charity Water, and I'll talk about it. The 100% model is one piece of the organization that makes us a little bit different. And what that means is we send 100% of all public donations directly to fund clean water projects in the field. And when we say 100%, we really mean 100%. We even reimburse credit card fees when donations are made online. So what we have is two completely separate bank accounts that never talk to each other and they never touch each other. One houses all of our operating costs, and the other houses all of our public donations, which would be what you guys are fundraising for today. Our operating costs are actually covered by a group of private donors. There's about 100 of them, and they make up what we call here Charity Water. They make up something called The Well. They make a 3-year commitment to the organization to fund exclusively operations. So staff salaries, flights to the field, the ink that's in our print is all covered by these 100 individuals who are really, truly amazing. They're people that work in finance to individual foundations to people in, the tech. People like Jack Dorsey from Twitter and Daniel Ek from Spotify. They actually really believe in funding the operations of the organization, which is pretty incredible. And then the other side, the other bank account, is the public donations. And that's anyone who starts a fundraising campaign online and gives that way. If they just go to charitywater.org and they donate, we have some people who kind of just sponsor a well, and they kind of all fall within that public donation realm. And when we get donations online, we actually take out of our operating bank account and we reimburse those credit card fees into kind of the water side of the organization, so funding clean water projects. And to date, we've raised about $180 million since we were founded in 2006. Through about 1 million supporters. So it's all about kind of the micro donation. The individual who's giving $30 or the 7-year-old who's selling lemonade and raises a couple $1,000s. Those are the people that really make up that 180 million. We were founded in 2006 from my guy, his name is Scott Harrison. He is the CEO of Charity Water, but he used to be a nightclub promoter. So he actually got paid to get people drunk for a living. And that was his life for many years, actually. He was getting paid $2,000 a month by Bacardi just to be drinking Bacardi in the club. There's this really awesome / awful picture of him that he shows a lot where he's strategically turning his wrist in the right direction. So the photographer will take a photo
To show off the
and
logo,
notice
is
that
that?
to show off the fact that he's wearing a Rolex watch. He kind of woke up one morning and thought he was the most self-serving person he had ever met in his entire life. And he decided that he wanted to stop doing all of the horrible things that he had been doing, which was getting people drunk for a living. At this point, he had done a lot of drugs. He was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And so he decided that he was going to apply for a bunch of humanitarian positions. And much to his surprise, everyone turned him down. No one wanted him. They said, hey, dude, we're a serious business. Like, we don't need a party promoter to come and help us. Except for one organization by the name of Mercy Ships. And they're an incredible organization where a bunch of doctors will actually dedicate their time and they board a ship, and the ship will dock mainly in West Africa and perform life-saving surgeries. And they said, hey, Scott, if you pay us $500 a month, you can come and volunteer for us. And he said, okay. And he went on board as the photojournalist. And one of the most kind of incredible stories I heard was before they dock the ship, they actually have people that go on the ground and will post flyers saying, hey, if you need to see a doctor, be at this location on this date, and a doctor may be able to see you. And Scott's very first kind of trip with Mercy ships, they docked the ship and they had enough surgery slots to see about 1,500 people, and there were 5,000 people waiting to see a doctor. And so, Scott actually did Mercy ships for a couple of years, and he came back and decided to start Charity Water because when he was in the field, really noticed how, people were standing in line to see a doctor because they were dying from things like diarrhea, or staphylococcus, things that we wouldn't even get sick from in the United States because we have access to clean and safe drinking water. And he wanted to reinvent charity, though, when he started it at 31 years old, because his friends were disenchanted with giving. They said, hey, if I give $20, I never know what happens to the money. It's this like black hole of giving. I don't know what percentage is being used for the actual cause. And then I don't know what happens with that money. And so I talked a little bit about the 100% model. And then the other side is really the proof piece. And Scott said, well, hey, we're going to prove every dollar too with GPS coordinates, photos, and community information when the water projects have been complete. We'll tell you exactly how we spend your money, regardless of what you're giving to the organization. And so those were really fundamental to who we are as an organization, and those things will never change.
Yeah, I think it's a interesting start to the organization coming from getting people drunk. But
yeah,
it's something that my own incentive to start doing this, the mindset I had, was just because I came across I think it was a charity live stream supporting Charity Water, and it just made me realize how much we take for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the main driving force that made me want to get into live fundraising. That we can get water literally on tap. It is on tap. So easy for us, and yet the all the diseases, everything that you talked about, diarrhea, staphylococcus, all that is caused by a lack of clean water.
Well, diarrhea, you only really die from the dehydration. Like, there's nothing there that kills you apart from the dehydration.
Right.
So provided you've got water, you can live.
Yep.
You'll just get over it eventually.
Literally the difference between living and dying. So that, for me, that was what got me into wanting to do this. Because it's such a simple humanitarian, such a basic idea that should be a human right that millions of people don't have.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, there are right now, and it's I've actually loved seeing the numbers decrease. So when I started at Charity Water 3.5 years ago, there were the UN numbers that there were 1 billion people living without access to clean and safe drinking water. And then I guess 2 years ago, they brought the number down to 780 million. And the UN report just came out actually a couple weeks ago, and the number's down to 663 million now. It's still a lot of people, but there's a lot of organizations that are actually working to bring people clean water in developing countries, and it's helping.
So you can actually see the effect in those national figures.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's lots of cheering in the office and things when those numbers get released at an all-staff meeting. At Charity Water, since we started in 2006, we've brought clean water to about 5.2 million people. We have 16,000 water projects in 25 countries, and we're a small shop here. We're actually, last year we brought clean water to 1 million people in one calendar year, and we bring clean water to about 2,700 people every day. So about one person every 30 seconds is getting clean water because of the hard work that people like you guys do, and the people in this office do every single day.
One person every 30 seconds. That's really powerful. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Changing a lot of lives.
It's cool. When we sleep at night, we're bringing clean water to people too, because there's individuals around the world who are actually actively fundraising while I'm sleeping. Our staff is about 75 right now, and we're all based in New York. So the work that we do in the field, actually, we employ locals. So it was really important to Scott that we were going to help kind of build infrastructure and economic development in the countries that we work. So we employ about 1,600 people in developing countries who get the work done on the ground. But it's amazing to kind of wake up in the morning and, you know, the first thing I do, I'll check a campaign like this, and it'll have raised, you know, a couple $1,000s more than when I fell asleep a few hours ago. So it's pretty powerful.
It must be one of the most satisfying jobs to have. Just
I
being
know,
able to, yeah.
If I ever leave Charity Water, it's all downhill. But it is really cool to do that, and I've been fortunate enough, like I said, to go to Africa twice now. So it's been really cool to see the work on the ground. I was in Ethiopia in April, and we actually went back to visit some of our oldest projects. So we funded these projects back in 2007. And the amazing thing about it was that all of the projects, with the exception of one, are still functioning. And, you know, it's crazy to see young children who in some of these communities have never had to live a day in their life without access to clean water. They've had a clean water point in their community for 7 years, and they're 5 years old. So they've always had access to clean water. And I met a young boy who spoke English almost as well as I did, because he spends no time walking for water and can actually spend all of his time in the classroom. I met someone else who has their favorite subject is physics. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just there's a difference between putting in I'm going to donate $5 and then just sending it off. There's a difference between that and actually getting told how you're changing lives, how that these are real people at the other end of this who are thankful for your donations. And it's just the fact that you're actually filling in that gap between where the money goes and how it's interacted, actually letting the people know how the whole thing works. It's just it's a great system.
And the amount of impact that actually has, like you were talking about how there are generations of children now who haven't had to live in those kind of conditions. There were a load of misconceptions that people were having in the comments of my announcement video for this, which was like, oh, you're just giving them water. It doesn't solve anything. No, you're creating the source of water, and that's the main difference. It's not something that is just going to be given temporarily that needs to be given again the next day. Once it's there for years. And
it is.
Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
And I think I was just going to say the water, what we've seen actually is that water changes so much more than just health. You know, when we originally started doing this, and, you know, we set out to kind of, you know, we believe that we can bring clean water to every person on the planet. It's going to be a huge feat to tackle the water crisis, but we think we can do it. And we also think that, you know, water changes way more than just health. It fuels economic development. We've told stories of women and children are the ones who usually bear the burden of collecting the water. In Africa alone, women and children spend 40 billion hours every year walking to collect water. And that water that they're walking to collect isn't even clean. They're just getting to their closest water source. And that's the annual workforce of France, 40 billion hours.
That's the statistic I was trying to remember earlier. It's 40 billion hours, and the annual, did you say annual workforce of France?
Yep, 40 billion hours in Africa alone. And that's not including, I mean, we have projects in Southeast Asia and South America. We've done work, you know, not just in Africa. And so I'm talking about Africa alone. So it's really staggering when you have that statistic. And when we bring clean water into a community, it means women and children spend less time walking for water, which means that women actually have more time we've seen women start their own businesses. When we put clean water in a community, there's women who have started hairdressing businesses, or we told a story about a woman who has a bread baking business now because she has so much time left in her day. Kids spend more time in school getting an education. And what we've also learned, and the UN actually published this stat, is for every $1 that's invested in clean water, it yields about $4 to $12 in economic return for the country. So it has an incredible impact on much more than just health. We ended up telling a story a couple years ago about a woman named Helen, and we went back to her community in Uganda after they got clean water, and we said, what does this mean to you? Like, what's different now that you have access to clean water? And she said to us, for the first time in her life, she feels beautiful. And, we never thought that water would actually restore dignity to someone. And she said, for the first time, I don't have to walk and I can only carry 2 jerry cans. I would come home and I'd have to decide, what would I use this water for? Would I use it to clean? Would I use it to cook? Would I use it to wash my kids' school uniforms? And at the end of the day, there usually wasn't water left for me. Now that I have access to a water point right near our home, I can collect as many jerry cans as I want. So I get to wash my face in the morning, I get to wash my clothes, and I can, I don't have to make decisions about how I use my water every day.
I think that's really important, is that it goes far beyond health. It affects literally everything. So when you're donating, you're not just donating to bring water, you're donating to do all that. Economic growth, and even just restoring basic human dignity.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
We've
incredible.
had, when I was in Malawi, 2 of the communities I visited in Malawi, they built troughs actually for the runoff water, and the runoff water from the well was actually being pooled into a community garden, and they were growing all kinds of stuff that they would then, they would go into the actual local town and they would sell, and they would take that money and they would put it back into a fund for their water project in case something ever broke. So they do amazing stuff with the water once they have that resource available to them.
Out of interest, you said a while ago that you went back and you visited all the different ones that from 7 years ago, was it?
Yes.
Years and years ago. You said that they were all functioning apart from one. What happened to the one?
So the one is actually under construction to be fixed. And we fund, the thing that people don't always understand is we fund about 9 different interventions. So we don't fund exclusively wells. We want to fund the most sustainable solution and the best solution for the country that we're working in at the time. So in places like Ethiopia and Malawi, we fund a lot of drilled wells. But in places like Cambodia, there's actually a ton of surface water. It would make no sense for us to spend $10,000 to go in and drill a well when we could actually clean the water that's already available on the surface. And the solution we fund there costs $65. And it's a biosand filter, and it's built by the household. The household contributes $5, we contribute $60, and they build this big concrete filtering system. But these projects that we saw in southern Ethiopia were spring protection systems, which is basically there is a ton of clean water that's coming out of a spring, but the spring isn't capped. So people are bathing in it. There's animals that are bathing in it or drinking from it. There's all kinds of bugs and mosquitoes. And what we do is we go in and we cap the spring, and the water continually runs out of that spring. In this instance, the pipe had gotten clogged with something, so they actually needed to break the concrete apart to open up the spring to clean out the pump, and they'll recap the spring with the concrete. But we actually have a maintenance program at Charity Water, which is also really important to Scott. So a couple of years ago, we got a $5 million grant from Google as part of the Global Impact Awards to design and retrofit our water projects with remote sensors. And the remote sensors are actually measuring water flow in real time and reporting via satellite back to our headquarters how much water is flowing. And when water stops flowing, we're actually mobilizing local mechanics to go out and fix those water projects. So we want to know at any given point in time how many of our projects are functioning, and when they're down, how long are projects down for, and when can we get them back up and running again.
Yeah, so you're not just giving them these wells and leaving them to deal with it. You're actually keeping an eye on it and helping them out when it breaks.
Yeah, it's as if you actually want to do something good for the planet and these people instead of grabbing every possible penny and just running away. It's almost as if you're actually trying to do something good, which is sadly scarce these days. A
water point is only good if water is flowing from it. And it is sad. In Africa, there's a lot of water organizations out there who've done it and they built a water project and then they're done. And it's crazy to think that a water point's not going to need to be maintained over years. So what we do, so ours is kind of twofold. We don't consider a water project complete until water committee's in place. And the water committee is usually a group of about 6 to 8 local community members who are responsible for the basic maintenance and upkeep of a water project. And about 50% of the people on the water committee are women, and it's the first time in their lives that they have a leadership role in their community. And they do basic repairs to their water projects. And I've met tons of water committees being in the field, and they're incredible. Usually in each village, each household contributes a small tariff every month, and that goes into a bank account that they keep exclusively for the water project. So if something like a bearing or a washer will break, they actually have the funds to fix it. The first village I went to in Malawi, they took apart the entire well just to show us that they knew how to take it apart, figure out what was broken, and then put the entire thing back together. So the local community members are trained on basic repairs. And then we have this is our third bank account. We call it Pipeline, which is our maintenance and sustainability program that we launched 2.5 years ago now. And that's for bigger repairs, like the example that I just explained of what we saw in southern Ethiopia with the spring protection system. That's a really expensive big repair. So when something's much larger, we'll be able to actually mobilize local mechanics who are trained to go out and fix them. Because a water project, it needs to be working in order for it to be valuable to the community.
Wow. I'd read through all the documentation on the website and all the explanation of this, but it really is something, isn't it? It is actually something incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We have I could tell stories all day long, but my job here is I get to work with campaigners who decide that they want to do something about it. They for charity water, meaning is relative. Some people come to charity water because they like the way that we use technology to report back to them. Some people like our 100% model. Other people actually are connected to the water crisis and they want to, bring clean water to people in need around the world. I had a little 10-year-old boy a couple of years ago who read an article in the New York Times about how kids in sub-Saharan Africa actually don't go to school because their job is to walk and collect water. And he loves school. He thinks school is the best thing ever. And so he decided to start a campaign so that kids could go to school. And he ended up taking cardboard and drawing photos on the cardboard, putting kind of wood stakes on the back of them and sticking all of his artwork in his backyard. And he charged $20 for people to walk through his backyard and look at his art. And he raised $10,000 for the organization as a 10-year-old. And it's amazing. I've had people walk across America, jump out of airplanes. I had someone swim naked recently from Alcatraz to the shores of San Francisco. I had a guy last year run a marathon in a Speedo. We see people like you guys too, who decide that you want to dedicate your time and your talents to change the world. And it's incredible to be on the other end of it and to see that.
It's one thing to see that there's a problem in the world. It's another thing to actually go the extra step and do something about it and say, I want to be part of a charity operation. I want to actually help the people who are currently suffering through this. It's impressive when you actually go beyond the idea of giving a thumbs up on Facebook.
Right, exactly. Which is always the hard part, It's not always easy to take that extra step, but it can be simple, right? It can be doing something that you're really good at. Or at Charity Water, actually, we started with a birthday. When Scott came back from Mercy Ships and knew that he wanted to start Charity Water, he did what he knew how to do best, which was throw a massive party. And so he invited, 700 of his closest friends, and he charged them $20 at the door to come in, and he raised $15,000 that night. And since then, we've seen about 15,000 people give up their birthdays for clean water. So they start fundraising campaigns and say, hey, instead of birthday gifts this year, I want you to help me bring clean water to people in need. And $30, it costs $30 to bring clean water to one person. That's it.
30. I'm assuming that's the same conversion I've got on the screen right now. So we've raised 4,105. That's 136 people. We'll get
That's
clean
amazing.
water.
Amazing. And right now, I can give you guys some insider information just because I'm here. Right now, all of those funds that are being raised are going to be supporting clean water projects in Malawi, which is my favorite place by far. Malawi is known as the warm heart of Africa. And if you were to ever go there, you would understand it. The people are the best. They're the coolest people I've ever met in my life. And we ended up telling a story a couple of years ago of a community that had wanted to get clean water for years, but they couldn't because the main road would stop before you could get to their village because there was a ravine running through the main road and their village. And they actually, as a community, spent 6 months filling in the ravine just so the drilling rigs could cross and bring them clean water. And we happened to be there on the day that the drilling rigs came, and it was the biggest party ever. I've never seen people so excited to get clean water before. And we ended up going back to that village about 7 months later. And I remember the truck, we were in a Land Rover stopping, and I'm saying, I don't see any people. Do we have a flat tire? You know, why? I'm confused. And it had been the rainy season, and the ravine had come back, but they didn't care. And so we had to cross this big ravine to get to their village, but they had clean water, and that's all that they wanted.
You know, hearing these stories about how these people's lives are completely changed just simply by having access to this clean water, it's heartbreaking. Not heartbreaking, sorry. It's heartwarming.
Warming.
It really is really heartwarming. It's great to be able to talk to someone who has had a direct influence in so many lives being transformed like this.
It's cool. And they're everyday, they're people like you and I who have jobs, or their kids that go to school. You know, I meet teenagers who, and even young girls who want to be doctors and they want to be teachers. And because they have clean water, they now have that opportunity, which is, it's just incredible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Any other questions for me or thoughts?
anyone in the chat?
I know it's
We can appeal to our audience of about 846 people currently. Anyone have any questions for Caitlin? You see, there's a bit of a delay on
like
the
a
stream, so it's
40-second
going to take a
delay. Yeah.
while. Yeah, a bit of a delay.
Yeah, Harv just noticed that there was a bit of a glitch with the reloading there.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've noticed it by
I'm
now.
struggling.
What?
Are you you actually watching the stream, Caitlin? Or
I am not watching the stream
Just-
currently, but I have seen it.
all right.
Having game technical
having technical difficulties, yeah.
So you want to just come turn off infinite
Yeah, I know.
gravity thing?
I'm worried that it's then gonna crash and burn, but I'll let it drift down. I'll let it drift down majestically. Well, other than people requesting you to sing, Caitlin. Oh, here we go. We have one question.
You definitely don't want to hear me sing.
It's okay, they heard me sing earlier, so
Did
can't
they?
Yeah,
go for it.
we've had our fill with lithium. Texan Space Agency asks, how does one donation to the operations fund to the well, how would one apply to work for Charity Water?
How would one apply to work for Charity Water?
So how would one donate to the operations fund, and how would
the
one apply
operations-
to work?
So the operations fund is something that we actually, as an organization, have structured out so that it's kind of like this group of individuals where there's only 100 people in it. So it's actually a 3-year commitment, and people make a pretty significant donation that they promise to give over 3 years. And we have people that are giving up to $2 million a year just for our operations. So we actually don't open up the ability for people to kind of publicly give to our operations costs on our site.
Okay. And also, how would one apply to work at Charity Water?
We have a lot of jobs open all the time. If you go to charitywater.org, and then if you end up, let me make sure I'm giving you the right navigation. If you go to the About Us tab, I believe, there's a section called Careers, and we have internships, we do, and then we have a ton of jobs. I think we have 7 or 9 jobs posted right now, and we also have internships open as well.
There's a lot of different opportunities there.
There are.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Caitlin, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me, and thanks for fundraising for us and for everybody else who's kind of donated and supports the cause. The cool thing about your campaign, I use it as an example a lot of, in the charitable sector, I think sometimes people say, well, like, I'm not going to donate because I can't give, a lot to charity, and it won't actually make a difference. But when a bunch of people come together, it actually makes a huge impact, whether you give 50 cents or $1 or $30 to bring clean water to one person. It's an amazing example of how a community can come together to kind of change the world.
I mean, when people say that, like, money doesn't make a difference. Like, you're talking about, what was it, 30 quid to basically change one person's life, like, dramatically. So, like, even if you're giving, like, $3 or whatever, that's still, like, 1/10 of a person's life changed. Like, to change someone's life is a pretty big thing. So to change just 1/10 of their life, statistically, that's pretty massive.
It's pretty amazing to know that, you guys could do what you love, and as a result, like, drastically change lives for people that you'll probably never meet, which I think is pretty selfless and pretty amazing.
Yeah, and this amount of money we're talking about to change someone's life drastically, $30. I mean, that's almost forgettable in terms of, like, our economy. Like, each person, $30, you'd be like, oh, I lost $30. That's annoying, but it's not going to, like, ruin my life probably for most people.
Right. Well, so you guys are amazing. So I love working. I love working on this campaign every year. It's one of the highlights of my summer, and I appreciate everything that you do for us.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, because I don't think we're going anywhere for the next years to come.
Good. Well, it's awesome to see it grow every year, and your impact is quite massive. If you go back and look at how many lives you've changed in how many different countries. So we can only continue to add number of people served in new countries to the portfolio every year.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Great. Thank you, guys.
No problem. And hopefully we'll talk to you maybe again next year.
I'm in next year.
All right. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm having real troubles with this buggy.
Yeah, okay.
What the hell
so
is
Casper
going
told
on?
me, turn back on your terrain detail.
Well, the terrain detail's doing this.
Yeah.
You turn back on your
Apparently,
terrain deal.
Because it's like it's accelerating with Phantom Forces, almost.
Is it accelerating because you have just hold down Alt and...
It's not trim. It's not trim. No.
Are you sure it's not trim?
Yeah, I'm certain it's not trim.
If you hit Alt X, it'll kill all trim.
I know. I've done that a lot. I've been trying.
Yeah, try the detail thing.
Oh.
Yeah, try changing detail.
Right, because every time I load, it sinks through the ground. So I have
Not to mention it spazzes out when it loses a wheel as well. So
yeah.
Because it killed that Kerbal. We're not going to get away with that one.
well,
Actually,
the problem is I need to
to
stop it. I need to actually get it.
Send me this.
Save.
Send me the save file. I could do some debugging on my end.
All right, there we go. I've saved
or
it.
something
Okay.
like that.
We should be okay. If I can just exit the space center. Come on.
Oh man.
During the time we had Caitlin on, we wasted a fair bit of money. So does anyone want to read out donation comments? And then we will. I will read out some Stanley Parable because we did pass $4,000.
Well, I don't have them updated, so it's gonna have to be street again.
I'm gonna do some debugging for if you send me the save file.
Hang on. Where were we then?
That's okay. Actually, I think we're good. I think we're good. I've got it stopped. But I will send you the save file.
Okay.
Ooh, and the game just crashed. Oh, no, the game has not crashed. It momentarily paused. We're okay.
Bad game.
You've reached your 4-hour limit for this group video call.
Oh. And all the video turns off.
Well, we have 20 minutes left of the
I
stream.
forgot that was a Skype thing.
Ah, well. 4 hours. That's if we start it just before the stream starts, then 4 hours is just enough.
You can like turn the call off and then turn the call back on. Like Skype doesn't recognize new calls.
Can't
yeah,
you just
put
your video back on, or? No.
Do you want to end the call?
Yeah, your video can go back on.
Oh.
Well, hang on. Try it again, Vincent. Vincent.
It won't work. It won't let you. I've already played around with the setting trying to bypass it. You have to end the call and recall.
I'll end the call. I'm hosting.
All right. And
All right, I'll end the call quickly.
And I will also run an advert. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. We're going to run a very quick commercial, then we'll be back for the last 20 minutes of KPE3. Hello.
What happened? What do you guys need me for?
Do you want to cut those calls?
Okay, how do I cut the call?
You can
End call with this person.
/kick.
Okay.
Or that.
There we go. I'm running a commercial now.
You're a commercial.
Your face is a commercial.
Actually, I want to see if my webcam is going to start working again.
Okay, yeah, if you can send me the save file, I can probably have it debugged by tomorrow.
No, it's not working. What the heck is going on?
Kerbal Space Programs, saves, KPE-based stuff. I'm assuming I can do this in the main menu. I'm assuming.
Well, if you send me the quick save, you can modify the quick save and then hold F9 to make the changes in game.
Oh.
So.
Well,
KPE3
I'll just send you the
stuff?
entire thing.
Alright, just send me the whole shebang.
It's in the group chat. Everyone else just cancel it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to hashtag KPE3. Remember that you can use the hashtag. Hashtag is a thing that we have.
You can and should, because Harv will show off all the fan art you send with the hashtag at the end of the stream.
Wait, hang on, that was $12,000. That's not happening yet. That is not happening yet. Don't try and trick me.
No, but something else is happening at 4,000. Wasn't there something?
Yes.
Yeah, you were going to read out Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable intro. I don't have the script though, unless it's in the chat that I've just missed.
Yeah, it's in the chat. You missed it.
All right, nice. We'll see if this.
Stanley was a very naughty boy.
You're a naughty boy.
Who were?
So the game FAQs. I'm assuming it's the. Yeah, there we go. Got the intro. All right. I'm just going to reach up here. Get back to driving.
Still downloading the yeah.
And then I'll read this thing out. And yeah, Skype transfers are terrible. I don't know why I put it in Skype. It was just the quickest place.
Skype transfer sends it through a server, probably on the moon, but judging by the speed.
Okay.
Alright, so here's the distance we've covered so far. Which is not bad at all. I mean, it's not quite a fifth, is it?
I haven't seen one single flag that we've crossed.
Yeah, we're nearly at the second one now.
Oh wow, okay.
We're very nearly at the second one.
Almost in that canyon too. Oof.
All right, loading up the save file. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Right. Distractions, things going on.
Didn't do it on my end.
Oh,
why
I didn't
is
do
one
the
of the
same.
cameras
Well, I
like
did.
a black
I
screen?
think I fixed it before I sent it to you anyway. I did manage to get
What's
it
up?
landed.
Anyway, I'll, fix the tires.
So let me do a little bit of this.
Hello, Harvey. I heard you were having a little charity event on the surface of Duna, and I hope you don't mind, but I've decided to invite myself. Oh, but who am I? Why don't you recognize me, Harvey? It's your old friend, Jebediah Kerman. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. You see, Harv, my colleague Bob Kerman here came across some intel recently.
That is correct, my lord Jebediah. It seems that HOCgaming, along with the Solar Gamer, Enter Elysium, Chicken Keeper, and many more YouTube and Twitch personalities will be live streaming on twitch.tv/HOCgaming every day starting on Wednesday, the 19th of August 2015, running from 5 to 9 p.m. BST, and every day thereafter until Sunday the 23rd, raising money for charitywater.org.
Now, usually, Harv, I wouldn't take an interest in this sort of a thing. But it would seem that this year you've chosen Duna on which to hold your little event. Driving from the South to the North Pole by nothing more than Rover. How foolish.
Not to mention a rather thin premise as an excuse to raise money for charity. I mean, seriously, how does one thing even relate to the other? It doesn't make any sense. I'm a man of science, and there's carting water from the South Pole to the North Pole. You're not achieving anything. There's ice on the South, there's ice on the North. What are you even doing here?
Be calm, Bob Kerman.
I'm sorry. I just went off there a little bit. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Don't worry, my friend. I'm about to rectify your concerns. Is the bomb ready?
Yes, indeed, Lord Jeb. Primed and ready to blow.
Excellent. Harvey, I am sorry to cut your charity event short, but Duna is my planet. I have plans for it, and you will be leaving one way or another. Goodbye. It's supposed to explode, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, should have gone by now.
Curses. Faulty decoupler. Will no matter, Harv. I have many ways to destroy you, but you may consider this a warning. If you would like to live, then you may leave my planet now. Failure to comply shall be met with the full hostilities of Jebediah Kerman.
And Bob.
And Bob Kerman as well.
That was really good, my lord. I like that one. You've been working on your evil cackle.
Oh, in my spare time.
It's getting better.
Thank you.
I think there's only one word to say, and that's damn it, porn.
Yes.
Stream sniped by porn. Ronin porn.
I'm quick loading and quick saving a lot, just trying to jostle it back into position.
Well, you are back live on stream as we eventually recovered it from a little bit of casual hacking from Ronin porn. I don't know if he's in the chat. I haven't seen him. He
was earlier.
Commenting. He was earlier.
Well, no, because he had to hack your stream, so he had to leave.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes left of KPE3.
Oh my.
I
What is it
think
we
that's
Redonation time.
Redonations? Or no, it's the Stanley Parable intro time.
Yeah, you read that. I'm gonna keep working here.
Alright.
I think I fixed it, but I'm not sure.
I just pressed the wrong button. I'm gonna get driving. Because we are wasting time. KP3 buggy. Yeah, see, I think I sent you the version that actually worked. It was okay.
Well, you sent me a version that was still broken, and I've done
yours
some
was
fixing.
still-
And okay, I've stopped the Phantom Forces,
Ooh.
but now it's accelerating at a snail pace.
It was doing that a bit earlier, but I just fixed it by toggling time warp a little. Is this gonna
Okay,
work?
I'm gonna try
okay.
toggle time warp.
Time warp again.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep this save running. I'm gonna fix the tires. The tires could do with fixing. But in the meantime,
this
ladies
is-
and gentlemen, please remember to donate. We're all putting in a lot of effort, and it's a worthwhile cause. It is an extremely worthwhile cause.
Absolutely.
Bringing water to people who don't have it. And impacting
So
much more than just their ability to have water and drink clean water. Impacting all the economies, and even as Caitlin gave as an example, restoring human dignity. It's a pretty fantastic thing.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
And we still have more Phantom Forces. What is going on?
So I've stopped the Phantom Forces, but I'm topping out at a maximum of 3 meters a second.
Right.
You said you fixed this.
It's
Yeah, I
because
toggled it with
they're,
time up.
Yeah, I
they're
tried
clipping
that.
through the craft. That's why.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I'm off. It seemed to be having to do with the terrain. Okay, let me
save?
just quick save and
Right.
test this a little bit, make sure it's stable now.
I think we're okay. We're okay on my end. My one's working.
Yours is working. You're fine. You're totally done. You're fine. You're fixed.
Yes, we're fixed.
I'm fine. I'm totally fixed too. What a crazy coincidence that's happening at the exact same time.
My
What a crazy
God.
random happenstance.
Okay, yeah, there's 17.2 kilometers to waypoint 2, and if you can make it, that's great.
Can we do that by the end of the stream? Ooh, I don't know.
Oh,
try and
8
get to the
minutes.
I'm gonna have to read
Drop
this
the boot.
out.
Go, go, go.
I
Okay.
believe.
Prepare
Let's
for
do it.
reading. This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month and every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. The buggy is... Buggy's distracting me. No, it had arrived on monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say, hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Dum dum dum.
I love that game. I love that game.
So the rover is handling properly now?
Yeah, the rover was handling properly. I was doing the equivalent of driving and texting.
It's handling well on my end as well. I'm just putting it through some stress testing. Physics seem to be alright.
So we have 6 minutes to get to that flag.
6 minutes to travel 16.6 kilometers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do
Oh,
this.
what?
Try going to 3 times time warp. I'm doing it
Yeah.
that now down the hill that you're about to reach, and it's doing well.
I'm gonna quick save just as after I get to the top of this hill. Might as well stop here. Alright. Excellent. Excellent.
I'm down to 14 kilometers now.
Ooh, that's pretty quick. Was it 3 times time up down the hill?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a hill and a half. Look at that. Did you have the landing gear up?
Yep. I had it
Okay.
down.
Oh.
I have it
Oh,
down.
down,
actually.
down.
That
even,
hill
yes.
is so big.
It's just mountainous. It's yeah.
10 points to the
Oh
top of the
my
gamer.
god.
5 points to the chicken keeper. He was slow on the uptake, and minus 5 points to Elysium. And I just crashed.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's quite a nice view, actually.
It is a nice view.
Yeah.
I'm down to
You're a nice
12.2
view.
kilometers.
The explosions are a lovely view as well.
Oh, oh my
Oh,
god.
that's fireworks as well.
Wow.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
probably don't go down the direct little middle there.
I know. I kind of just went for it and hoped for the best.
This is not the time to make mistakes.
Need to
We
have
have 4
speed,
minutes.
not haste.
Don't be hasty, Master Mary.
Every time I say the word haste.
Don't be hasty, Master Mary.
I'm glad you picked up on that. Oh, ooh.
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 Is that a bad ooh?
You don't need to watch the stream, you can just listen to the tape.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh!
That was a
Yeah.
good.
Oh!
That's a good
Ooh.
ooh.
Oh.
I think one of your lights is out.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
the front lights is out.
Your far left light.
Is that because I've broken it, or is that just because I pressed the hotkey accidentally?
You probably pressed the wrong button.
That'll be number 4. No, that was number 3. There we go. Back on.
Aha.
So it is. I can totally clearly see that.
10
Yeah,
points
me
the
too,
Timekeeper.
Yes.
Oh man. It really stinks that these are undocumented. We're not on that leaderboard.
Nah, I need to get to that leaderboard. I need to find a way of actually just putting them on the leaderboard. Oof. Okay, we good. We good. We good.
Yeah.
No, I said we're good. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh.
Oh
ooh.
dear.
Come on, go, come
Oh
on.
no.
You can do it.
Yes.
Oh, ha.
Yes.
You did it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's
Can we
plenty of
please-
it being done.
Plenty of chasing for half points.
Let's have some donations, please.
Let's get to 5,000 before the end.
Yeah, 5,000 in 2
5,000
minutes. Let's do
before
it.
the end. Do we have a
I think
donation goal
that's
for 5,000? Yeah, the Rover download link will be made available at $5,000.
Yeah. Don't wait
So
till
you can
tomorrow.
have
Get it
this.
today.
Are you not entertained?
Get it today at your local KPE.
Someone brings up a good point. Did you get your driving license from Bob?
Maybe.
Bop, 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 baby bell.
Yeah,
Other
right
brands
here.
are
You
available.
could have flown all the way to that flag marker. Missed the opportunity.
Could have flown if we had wings and plenty of fuel.
Could've.
Wait, have we? 14.4 kilometers. Oh, that one's through the surface of Duna. 14 kilometers. 14.32 kilometers. 14.2 kilometers. Not bad.
Wait, what?
Just use your head for this descent.
Yeah.
I loaded
you
the
guys host. I will.
I loaded
I'll
up
be
the
driving.
save, and if you go down at 3 times warp with the gear out and are lucky with SAS on, you can make good time. I'm down to 11.6 kilometers. Not trying to brag, but just saying.
Oh,
I'm such a better driver than you.
You are a
I'm
better
not trying
driver
to
than
brag, but I'm bragging.
Exactly. There is a.
I lost
It's sort of like it topples off a little bit. So
It's the
I noticed that
stress.
kind of.
Oh!
Stress getting to me. I lost it.
What?
Shall I just use the fuel to fly all the way down?
Go for it.
Should I put it on infinite fuel? I don't want to cheat. No, we're okay.
Not
I'm just
infinite
gonna take
fuel,
it.
but
I'm just
you-
gonna take it slow and steady. We have no minutes left of the stream, but I will get to the bottom of this hill.
We're into overtime.
We're into overtime.
I will
We'll
get to the bottom of this hill.
get to the bottom of this. 2 times warp, plenty of braking. We're okay. We're okay. We're not okay.
Yeah, are
We're
we going
not
to catch
okay.
up the donation
We're
messages
not
before the end?
Okay, yes. You do that. You do that whilst I try and drive a
Who wants to
Rover.
do the donation messages?
I'll do some of them. Pyromaniacal13 donate $10. Harv, please say Zendrite comes in a little glass vial.
Say what?
I think I pronounced that wrong, as I do pronounce a lot of things wrong.
Something comes in a little glass vial. I didn't hear what you said.
I don't even know what I said either, to be honest.
Whatever it was, it
I can't
comes in
even
a
see
little
these.
glass vial. There you go.
Vernsky donate $10 for the first checkpoint. Smile face. Watching for the 3rd year, but first time I have been able to donate. Great job. I don't like to plug, but I also have a YouTube channel. So that's VERNSKEY. Vernsky.
Well, thank you very much for your donation.
Tostrenga1, again, probably pronouncing that wrong. $5. Harv, do a flip at 4K.
We've
He's already done plenty of
We've
flips,
done
to be
plenty of
honest.
flips.
You just handled that jump very nicely, I have to say.
Thank you. I'm glad one person appreciates it. You won't appreciate.
Roger
what
York
else.
donated $5. Harv, has anyone told you that you look very similar to Grant Gustin, the guy who plays Barry Allen on the CW's The Flash?
No. No one has.
Joseph Fusco donated $10. It's amazing what you people do. Proud to do my part, and gentlemen, never stop being awesome. Especially you, Elysium, but the rest of you too.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I see how it is.
Thank you.
He also donated another $10, saying you guys are awesome, keep up the wonderful work, and stay awesome, especially you, Elysium, but the rest of you too. So, yeah, Gary
Yep.
Doodlemane donated $100.
Wow, Gary Doodle. This is the artist who has done this. Everyone go ooh ah.
Ooh.
Ooh,
There you go. A lot of the artwork for both last year and this year was done by Gary. So shout out to
Anyway,
him.
he says, "Hi Harvin gang, having worked on a little for KPE3 with some sort of the artwork and with my ongoing university studies, environmental science, management, technology, I can't think of any charity more deserving of a donation. In the world, most of us are familiar with what we take water for granted, but no resource. I'm probably reading this wrong. I'm sorry, my mouth is ahead of where my eyes are. Any infrastructure surrounding it. In the world is more singularity important than water. In less fortunate countries, water is life, security, education, economic boom, health, food, and much, much more. With charity drives like KPE3, we can all make a difference for the better."
yeah.
Thank you very much for your donation.
AC donated $30. Seems like a conflict of interest sending water to Mars. I mean Duna.
Right, I'm taking a different route with the buggy. I'm going down to the left. I think I was going through
John,
some very
yeah.
Yeah.
We need a name for that hill. Someone come up with a clever name for that hill so we can, mark that off.
Halves
John
lament.
Baisley
Mount
donated $40. I salute your mad interview skills at keeping a calm voice while fighting with your Danny Rover.
Danny Rover, is that what this is?
That's what it's being. Oh, we never got a chance to name the rover.
That's gonna be another goal at 10,000. We'll name. I don't know.
Next person to donate 1,000.
Yeah, next person who donates $1,000 or more can name the rover. And if it doesn't get named by the third day, then we'll name it. Or we'll do
It
something
has
else.
to be safe for stream.
Yeah. Andy Platter donated $5. Hearing Caitlin's stories has honestly brought me to tears. I don't have a lot of money, but I just have to donate. Please thank her for me.
We will. I'll send
Fabricio
many
Sassi
thanks.
donated $110. $110. Keep up the good work, Harv, and the crew of Charity Water, and of course, everyone involved. Miranda donated $40. Keep up the good work, guys. Greetings from Australia. Austria, sorry, not Australia.
Austria.
Sorry, Austria. It's
I was
Austria.
going to say, if you're in
slightly
Australia, I'm
Little
so sorry
different.
for you. The timings
Little
are just
diff-
terrible for
Yeah.
the Australians.
Austria.
You're okay in Austria. It's decent timing in Austria.
Epiquin donated $20. Again, probably pronouncing that wrong. I could pronounce it Apequin, whatever, happens to be closer. Just a poor student here, but I had to donate after Caitlin told that it helps children to be educated.
Yeah, all the donations go much further than just water, and I think education is probably one of the most important ones because that's the key to getting out of the, I suppose, rut. Is that the right word? Getting out of the situation that they're in. Educate your generations. Education, it's good. Do it.
Yeah. Hedus Athetus, H-E-D-I-U-S, space, A-U-T-H-E-D-I-U-S, donated $40. Twitch name, Athedius, A-U-T-H-E-D-I-U-S. So thank you for the $40. I wish I could pronounce your name, but I can't pronounce anything, so, whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Maximilian Steiner donated $94. That's a wibbly-wobbly rover you got there. Where do I write my email down? Here? Then gives out his email. I hope you didn't read that out loud. Don't worry, I didn't read your email out.
Bearing in mind you are donating to a public page, so
Yeah.
don't give us out any emails that you're not comfortable with being out there in the public.
Fifth Reaper donated another $5. Get Caitlin to sing. Bobby Factor donated $25. I hope this makes up for all the Kerbals I've buried under the hangar.
To be fair, Danny's got enough under there.
Yeah.
Danny's are overflowing out from underneath the hangar. They're just everywhere. They make the foundation of his space center.
No, he ran out of space under the hangar, so he just put them into a different dimension instead.
Yeah.
And that should be all of them. If you see any I missed that are over $5,
well, there we go. That is also bringing the stream to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for
you're
all
down
your
the hill?
donations. Yep, I'm down the hill. We've got 11 kilometers to the next waypoint, so we'll be doing that at the start of the next stream.
Okay.
My voice is giving out. My god. Can we have a round of applause for all our co-hosts in the chat who have been talking for 4 hours straight? Or nearly 4 hours straight. Just over 4 hours
Or I
straight,
just
really.
let Street Lamp do most of the talking.
Yes,
Yeah.
Street Lab, you were
Yeah.
doing all the donation comments, or most of the donation comments.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah, that's why I said most. That's why I said most. Seriously, thank you everyone who has helped make this a success. We're already nearly halfway to our initial goal. $4,563 out of 10,000.
Yeah, we're well on our
Excellent.
way. Clap for everyone who
Nice.
watched and everyone who donated and everyone who watched the ads.
Yes.
So, little clap, little clap.
So we're aiming for 10,000 by the end of tomorrow.
Definitely by the end of tomorrow. Let's make that happen. All
Then we
right.
can try and we went 10,000 first KPE. We got 20,000 second KPE. So I think we have to aim for at least 40,000 this time around.
Let's
It's exponential
make
growth,
it
right?
happen. Yes, exponential growth. Actually, you can't tell if it's a curve until we have 3 points, so it could be linear. So
Remember to quack save.
Shh, it's an exponential.
I have quick saved. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the stream. Thank you again to everyone watching, everyone who's donated, all the moderators in the chat. Thank you especially to Caitlin for coming on and talking for so long about everything. Whew. And thank you to my co-hosts. I hope to see... Am I seeing any of you I'm seeing
Someone
some of you
says I
tomorrow.
missed a few last comments, so I just want to get to that quickly.
Alright.
I think
Refresh
I
the
foolishly agreed.
page.
Oh yeah, I'm on tomorrow and I'm on Saturday, and then I'm streaming on Saturday and trying to get people to donate on Saturday as well.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have the Goldfish, and to listen was returning. We have the Ronin Pawn, and Chicken Keeper, you're also back tomorrow.
And then
Nice.
Saturday, there's a 4-hour-long KPE stream, and then I'm streaming for 4 hours trying to get more people to donate to KPE.
Are you going to do what you did
Oh,
last year, which is race me and actually get there in 4 hours?
I could do that, but it would be too easy. I might just play From the Depths because I'm a little bit addicted to it at the moment.
Well, there
But
you
I
go.
could totally race you to North Pole and win because I'd use anti-grav suspensors. Because I can probably get about 300 meters per second on
Anyway,
this.
someone mentioned that I missed some of the comments. However, I'm looking at it and either it's not showing up for me or something. But it'll get covered tomorrow. It'll get covered tomorrow.
Don't worry. So, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm, 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 mm.